We're live, everything works well. Welcome everyone. My camera decided to shift to the side. 1 second. Oh, do I love these mornings when nothing seems to work. Okay, good enough. If it slides again, well, we'll do it again. Hi Ivan, hello, hi Salim, hi Layla, hope you're doing well. Have a nice day. Thank you. I'm doing very well. It's Good Friday here in New Zealand. And by Good Friday I mean the public holiday. So, yeah. Today we'll continue working on the vampire. As I mentioned in the previous stream, again, haven't touched him. I have a few things going on in my personal and 3D life, so this project has not been getting much love, apart from Axon streams, obviously. Hello, Layla, welcome. Let's check. It's working. Yes. Sometimes my Huion tablet likes to jump to the other screen and draw there, but not today. Hi Ivan, welcome. Haven't seen you here before. New faces in the chat, that's always nice. What are all these? Let's just clean up. Okay, better. Yeah, I think after the stream I spent some time refining his face as well, so it should be looking a bit better now. The spotlight I saved and a camera. So I did. Awesome. Let's give him some clothing today, I reckon. Hello, W8A second. Welcome. Friday here in Bangladesh is also public holiday for us, as well as holiday. Awesome. Привет, наконец-то дождался вашего стрима. Здравствуйте. Приветствую. Вот так говорится. Okie dokie. What did I say? I said his clothing. Let's focus on that idea, Layla, and not start jumping around the whole sculpt and doing everything else but clothing. Okay, so we actually have a nice start here. Let's just go to subdivision level 1, get rid of these and turn on double. Nice. Delete hidden. Gonna do its thing. Just so we have like a clean mesh to start working with. Now, if you keep on sculpting and the other meshes keep on disappearing, it's annoying you. So that's because, I believe, that's because ZBrush is trying to save on memory for your computer to operate properly. But you can disable it by turning off dynamic. So now they'll all be here. But you have to do it for each subtool. Oh, this is a cool one. Thank you, Tipan. Vampire kind of reminds me of Castlevania. Me too, right? It's, what's his name? Something starting with A from the Netflix Castlevania show. Can't remember. The good guy who's a vampire. was the son of Dracula. Hmm. Yeah, that works. I wonder how much of it are we gonna see. We should probably start by trimming his bust. Hello, Anjana. Welcome back. Okay, that disappearing thing annoyed me to no end. That's a great tip. Awesome. Glad I could help. 50's fine. Alucard, that's the one. Yes, Alucard. Reminds me of him, but maybe a bit more, I don't know, evil. So, one of the ways to preserve the same topology, let's say you have like 5 subdivision levels and you don't want to lose them, you want to still keep them intact, but you want to trim down the shape. So we can go to Control Shift and you'll get this panel of all of our lovely trim, knife, what else, crease, slice brushes. There's also a trim brush over here. Oh no, sorry, clip brush. Clip curve. And what it does, it clips stuff. However, it should maintain the topology and not crash ZBrush. Okay. Yeah. It did exactly what it said it would do. It clipped it, but it didn't destroy the topology. As you can see, my levels are intact, but I have a nice clean cut. And that's kind of the thing that I want to do for this effect. You know? Well, let's try again, but I kind of want to make it meet in the middle. Очень крутой 3D артист. Я начала за вами следить после вашей работы с Tundra Animation. Спасибо, что стримите. Ой, спасибо большое. Очень приятно. Я недавно ходила на премьеру последнего мультика от Тундры тут в Окленде. Nice concept and sculpt. Thank you, Alina. Thank you for coming to the stream as well. It's an honor. When are you streaming next? Alina is one of our, I believe, returning streamers. Give her a warm welcome in the chat. Let's line up. Yeah, so it needs to be lower. As much as I would like to keep all of those muscles, we won't really see them. They're gonna be covered in clothing. But at some point, ZBrush is gonna say, nope, you're asking too much of me. Maybe it won't be today. Didn't know you speak Russian. I do. I'm originally from Moldova. Some population of Moldova speaks Russian because we all used to be part of the USSR. So my mom is Russian, but my dad is Moldovan. And then there's like a bunch more blood mixed in with grandparents. But yeah. Oh, I'm silly. I forgot to turn on the perspective. Next time we can speak Russian. I am, to be honest, more comfortable in English nowadays, purely because I lived in New Zealand for a long time, but I can speak either. It's just all the 3D terminology and all the slang, I'm more used to using it in English. So when I try to explain something in Russian, in terms of like ZBrush or the pipeline, I get like a big old brain fart. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now, maybe I did it prematurely. Maybe not. Let's cut this one, but this time I'm not gonna try and preserve all of this. Let's get like a slice curve. Trim. All of them are gonna create holes, aren't they? Knife. Yeah. It's okay. Mirror, mirror and weld. Oh, we have a way. Delete hidden. Delete hidden. And voila, we have start of his, I don't know, jacket. Costume. Yeah, this is true. My next stream will be May 4th, I believe. Nice! Что бы вы могли посоветовать начинающему 3D-артисту? Можете, пожалуйста, поделиться? Смотреть стримы, не обязательно мои. Просто вот поглощать информацию и не просто там сидеть, вот что-то делать, а именно вот, если кто-то дает какой-то тип, садиться, открывать ZBrush и пробовать. Потому что только так мы запоминаем. Да. Я в свое время поглощала очень много информации, сейчас чуть-чуть меньше, но именно со стримов, чтобы взять, впитать в себя как губка все. Я знаю, это не очень полезный совет. Думаю, вы уже это делаете. Sure, sorry, I'm kidding. No, don't be. I'm easy. Do you find slicing often because it causes crashes? Is there a safe way to know that it won't crash? You never know. Which leads me to this. I think it's not even. It's version 4. Don't question it. I know what I'm doing. Even though I said version 2 before. Yeah, always save before slicing is kind of like, you know, an old proverb among us 3D artists, ZBrush artists. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to prevent it from crashing. Sometimes it will be fine, sometimes it will not be fine. Yeah, it depends on how ZBrush is feeling. Most of the time it's fine, but I had some moments. So now I'm just playing it safe. Now, let's just mask this area. Delete hidden. Maybe we can inflate it slightly if you just go to your transpose brush, and then control and click on the yellow square. This is gonna inflate the mesh along normals. In mine it's called transform, and I'm sure it exists in Blender and 3ds Max and everywhere else. Very useful tool. tool, trick, I don't know. Like even simple objects, I find it crashing. Yeah, I feel ya. It doesn't crash on me too often. So maybe your poly count is high, although you just said simple objects. Not too sure. Is your cut pretty complicated? Because I find it to be doing fine with just like straight cuts. If you're trying to like do something like this, you know, it might not like it. This is an international channel, so English here. I don't have good 3D vocabulary in Russian either. Yeah, I mean, if people ask me questions in Russian, I'm not gonna ignore them because I speak the language and I was raised with this language. And my point, the point of me being here, is to teach people. And language is just another tool, like Maya, ZBrush, Substance. I feel like if we're going down philosophy and the whole like, I don't know, mindset rabbit hole, then I feel like language is a very weak tool to convey our thoughts and ideas. It's just something that we came up with and we're using and relying on, and I mean, it gets the job done, but there are so many other ways to, you know, connect with people, which can be like through sculpting. Why not? Yeah, slicing can be dangerous. Save every 15 minutes anyway. Yeah, just to be safe. Dang, I love that shape. This one? Do you use iPad ZBrush? This guy, the base form, was sculpted on ZBrush for iPad. I have it somewhere. I swear. Somewhere. Nope. Okay. Open with media player. So this was something I found the concept by the talented artist, who is, by the way, linked down below. Messaged them straight after they posted it on ArtStation because I got a notification. And yeah, before going to sleep, I just picked up my iPad, sculpted it. It's looking pretty rough right now. Basically, we jump ahead. Yeah, that's what I had by like, I don't know, an hour and a half mark. And that's now. And then it's like come up to your tablet or your computer and you can send the files without having to, you know, save it to the drive, download it, blah blah blah. If you set up GoZ properly, there's now a button called GoZ to iPad, and you can like synchronize them. Yeah. Anyway. Basically works like AirDrop if you have, or any other like Bluetooth like sharing feature on your smartphone. Okay. Maybe we should rename some stuff. I don't know what to call all of this, so they'll remain extracts for now. These are teeth that are awkwardly sticking out of his lips. And if you get annoyed that ZBrush always, and it will always, rename your first subtool at the top to whatever your file is named, the way I fight that is just by adding a sphere to the top and just turning it off. So now... Oh, these are eyelashes. What are these? Also eyelashes. What do you know? Oh. Ooh. Yeah, so now if I rename this, it will stay the same. But if I kept that at the top and save the file again, it would rename to whatever the file is called again. Okay. The reason my OBS is saying that there are 0 people watching me, which I think is a mistake. No. 29 people. Can't see anyone from Twitch though. Yeah, something's up with OBS today. Must have taken the public holiday as well. $22 on Twitch. 23 now. Whoa. That's cool. Okay. Let's say we're happy with the shape. Are we? Kind of. We can now zero mesh it. If you've ever struggled with zero mesher not doing the thing that you wanted to do, I am your gal. Go to ZBrush Mesher Guides. I'm gonna start there. And we're just gonna draw out zero mesher guides in the direction that we want the topology to flow. I roughly know that this is the flow that I want. And it takes 15 seconds to do so, so it's worth it. Now, I know it's a very old trick, but I don't really see a lot of people using it. I don't know why. Now, in Zero Mesher, you can set groups, but we don't have any groups, so it doesn't matter. Now, curve strength will determine how much Zero Mesher is gonna try to adhere to the lines you have sketched. We can play around with that. This, obviously, 4 and the 4.6, it's like gonna be 4,600 polys on each side, so like 9k total, which is roughly what we have here right now. So I would get a result very similar to this, which might not be what I want. I might want something lower, like 2.1. Yeah, that's better. There's still some weird things happening here. So let's try and smooth it out. I'm just gonna mask that weird vertex and just gonna polish by group. Now it's smoothed out, and hopefully your mesher shouldn't freak out now. Yes. As you can see, now it's smooth. Am I happy? So let me explain my thinking to you. There are these panels going kind of like diagonally or like towards his neck, and I really want them to look crisp. If I were to take this ZBrush shape, which isn't bad, I've seen worse from ZBrush, when I smooth it, all of these areas, all the star areas will get a pinch, and it will look like... gonna not say that. Just not gonna look good. So, and here as well, and here, so we get like 2 stars and maybe even more. So let's try again. We can try and actually smooth those areas with just a normal smooth brush. Increase it. And now, don't ask me how it works, but ZBrush recognizes you smoothing areas out, and it will do its best to recalculate those areas. That might seem excessive, what I'm doing right now, but trust me, it is not. To get a really clean mesh to work with, you'll save yourself so much hassle later down the line. So let's try again. Okay. Well, it got rid of one of the stars. Try smoothing it again. Much better. See? Got rid of it completely, and the back is looking nice. Awesome. It's like Christmas. Let's save it just in case, because I like it. So I just duplicated it. Let's go back one step in history. And I also want to smooth out this area. Okay, okay, that's something. Yeah, I love it. Let's stick with this. Delete this one. Now, there are 2 ways to make this cloth sit on the surface again. Constantly flux, it's okay. Yay, nice little trick. Wow, that was a neat tool trick. Thank you. I'm glad that was something new. So the easiest way would be just to push against the normals. Along the normals. Or we could reproject, but I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna do this. Am I? We could get some more definition, so let's just quickly do that. So you might get these areas that are weirdly raised, and you're like, this is not on my original mesh, what is going on? Also, there's some like play build-up moments there. We'll just smooth it out and try again. It's better. Smooth it out. Try again. Smooth it out. Ooh. Try again. Much better. So now this is adhering to the body pretty well. What was that voice crack? Gonna fix this and make it sharper by turning on AccuCurve. If you don't have it in your custom menu yet, what are you doing? But jokes aside, it can be found somewhere here. Been a while. Where it's somewhere here. Yeah, curve, AccuCurve. and you can put it on your custom menu. So brush, scroll down, curve, add a curve. Basically what it does, it lets you create these pointy shapes as opposed to normal rounded off shapes that you get with normal move brush. Very neat. Окей. Есть ли у вас какие-нибудь обучающие курсы по ZBrush? Не, я не делала своих курсов еще. Было бы круто. Я училась в плане... Просто вот смотрела стримы и видео, бесплатный контент от Polygon. Like Polygon, только вместо P, F. Он очень такой стилизованный чувак. И да, советую. Okay. Now let's inflate a little bit. Have some tea. Now I'm noticing that this distance does not equal this distance, so my chest area is still a bit too big. But I feel like if I cut it even more, he will look really weird, like his head is already so big. And I know it, look, it works as drawing, but just try to imagine it as a 3D model, then turn around, and you'll notice that his head is just massive, right? And his body is like tiny for how big his head is. But you don't notice it because you've got these really cool bats, and you have like this directionality going towards like the focal the central point, and the tilted chin and his expression. You don't notice it, but this area should be like at least 80% bigger. Well, in my head anyway. Do you guys agree? And it's just, you know, me and my experience as a 3D modeler speaking right now. As a 2D artist, I think it makes sense, and I think it looks really cool. But these are the kind of things you need to think about when you're transferring a 2D concept to 3D. What area in 3D do you do? Is it character sculpting for games or something else? So it's more than that. If you are a character artist for games, you rarely just do sculpting. What I focus on is character art, and it starts from sculpting, then it transitions into Retopology, then UVing, then texturing, then look dev. I don't do rigging or animation, and I don't do concept art, although I've been studying concept art recently because I want to improve. Yes. Yeah, so my specialty is character art, and I mostly worked in animation industry, but I've also worked on freelance for some game companies and everything in between, like cinematics inside Unreal. So it's not exactly a game, but it's not, I don't know what to classify it as. Okie dokie. Лол. Привет, наконец-то попала на стрим. Ура. Привет. Можешь сказать привет чату, я не знаю, как дать твои линки. У нас талантливая художница в чате сейчас. Очень жаль. Я готов был прямо сейчас купить. Однажды будут. Обещаю. So we can see that there's a neck area that gets like a really sharp cut here. I wonder if it's gonna be a separate geometry or we're gonna manipulate this geometry to look like that. Because, believe me, the best way to do something like this would be to do it with true geometry. Like actually like getting a polygroup to look like that. And then extruding it and yada yada yada. If you try to sculpt it by hand, can work. But I am obsessed with like clean approaches because usually they yield me best results. Oh, come on. I can just polygroup, polyloop. Weird. Doesn't want to do it. Auto groups. I have to go. Good work here. Thank you, Alina. Keep it up. I will. Oh, hello, combo German. Welcome. What if we mask it and then slide? Does work. Oh well. So what I'm thinking of doing is just getting that back piece more closer towards his neck to get that sharp like a V shape. And don't worry about messing up your actual sculpt because we can always reproject. But if we get this shape nice and clean, we'll be thankful to ourselves later down the line. Oh, and it's Easter coming up, so for anyone celebrating Easter, happy Easter. Do you celebrate it in your country? And let's get those sharp corners again with IQ curve. Now, to slide it even further in, I could just do it manually, but let's try something different. Let's go to File, Lightbox, and to Brushes, and to... where is it? Smooth. Now there's Smooth Groups. Yeah, that's the one that we want. Now, every time you hit Shift, you'll get Smooth Groups instead of the normal Smooth. And let's see what happens. That's pretty good. So smoothing out the transition. It's not doing what I wanted it to though. I wanted it to shrink it. So how about we mask this area? Go to polygroups and polish? No. Yes, it's manual labor after all. Trying to think of other ways I could have done it. Я вторую неделю куличами объедаюсь, дождалась. Супер. У нас тут куличей нет. Ну, только в русскоговорящих комьюнити. Но тут продается что-то, называется hot cross buns. Это такие булочки с крестом на них. И они очень вкусные. Have you guys heard of hot cross buns for Easter? Because I haven't until I moved to New Zealand.
Until you moved to a relatively Catholic country?
Yeah. I was raised in an Orthodox country where they celebrated Orthodox Easter. Not anymore. Get buns with crosses on them.
Comes from Poland.
Comes from Poland?
Mm-hmm. And England.
Есть ли у вас YouTube-канал? Да? Там есть все ссылки внизу. Instead, to relax, we'll punch things together. Polish and relax. Ah. That's the one I was looking for, you reckon?
Show.
Well, relax actually favors it in like the purple area. And I don't want that. I want it to actually go up, so... It's okay. I did it manually. Let's reproject and let's save as well, because I'm gonna save it as Vampire 4, I believe. Because you've worked in the industry, what other programs did you use? Did you have to learn, or did you only sculpt in ZBrush and someone else painted and rigged? No, I wish. ZBrush is the most fun part. Now you need to learn quite a few, as I mentioned. It's very rare that you only get hired just to sculpt. I know there are some outsource companies that will do that. For instance, Dragonfly. I remember they had positions for people just to sculpt. But most of game companies, animation companies will want you to do more. Not to be generalist as much, more knowing all of the pipeline from start to finish, but doing like your own part. So again, getting the concept art from the concept artist, sculpting it, getting feedback, adjusting it until everyone's happy. Then you retopologize it, then you UV it, and then sometimes, depending on your role and how big the company is, the team is, you get to texture it as well. So texturing, sometimes you'll have to groom it or do like hair cards, like hair generation. And then some look dev as well inside of Unreal or Marvelous, or if you're working with offline renders, V-Ray, Redshift, I don't know, Arnold. So you do need to know thing or two, not just ZBrush. Done. Okay. Just mask the yellow. Are you want to keep yellow and part of the blue lila? Huh? Yeah, if I mask it, and I want to smooth, like make it go up, it will not, because it's not how it works. I want to preserve all of this. Well, it slightly works, but just for like a millimeter. It's okay, it's fine. I got the shape that I wanted. It was saved, so now I can project. And the same thing happens. It's like freaking out over here. So we can just smooth it out. Project again, smooth it out. And you do it a couple of times. Yeah. So the logic here is, you're like, why does the smoothing work? You need to push it in enough. So you can just, you don't have to smooth it even. You can like clay build up to push it in. Maybe this one needs smoothing. And yeah, now ZBrush can reproject it. Okay. How long did you sculpt before getting a job? No. I sculpted, I don't know, not professionally. I wasn't even hired as a sculptor. I was hired as a effects artist, working in Houdini. It was like my first big job, but before that I had another one back in Moldova. It was different, so I don't know where exactly to start the countdown. Let's say my first big job, I was like fresh out of uni, haven't sculpted much at all, got hired as a Houdini artist, junior Houdini artist. And that's how the story goes. I got hired straight out of uni, like the next week. But it was a different time. There was no AI. There were no major layoffs back then. Obviously, there were still layoffs, but not as big as today. No size. Then start, lock, start, snap. Trying to get that necklace part down. This one. Struggling. And what portfolio piece did you apply with? One portfolio piece? I had multiple. I don't know. I haven't heard that many stories of people getting hired for just one portfolio piece. One can stand out, but you need a bit more than one. Unless you're applying for like maybe internship. But even those have gotten pretty strict recently. So let's say you got this line and it's pretty wonky. You can hit 6 on your keyboard a couple of times. And it should, theoretically, smooth it out. Just doesn't really work today. But it did smooth it out slightly. do a square. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. I just need to adjust the size the other way. So from something thin to something thick, like so. Okay, happy with that. Do I still have old portfolio? Yeah, I can show you guys. Yeah, I found my old demo reel from 2018. There you go. I'm gonna just quickly scroll through it. So, oh, quality is not great. So I was just showing off some Houdini skills, some grooming skills. My modeling was probably one of the weakest skills I had at the time. I don't think in 2018 or 17 I knew what sculpting was. I was modeling everything by hand. I only discovered ZBrush in 2018. This guy was procedurally modeled inside Houdini, so no sculpting. If you know what procedural modeling is, it's kind of like playing around with parameters to create all of these rocks, and then I would place all of the rocks one by one and like model all the wines as well. Man, that was a very weird way to do it. Pretty cool though. Then some of this, some of that, and then by the time I got to uni I realized I really like character art, and yeah, that was my, I think, final project at uni. Oh boy, I would have resculpted so many things now, but it is what it is, and then I get tired. Long story short. What got you into ZBrush? Did you traditional art then progress? What got me into ZBrush? My university showed me ZBrush, and I'm really grateful. Before that, I think I played around with Modbox, but it wasn't anything serious. Look at me, it sounds like I'm in a relationship with ZBrush or something. I mean, we do see each other pretty face to face every day, so that makes sense. Okay, so first of all, keep groups I want to get something simple. Yeah, it's gonna merge it, isn't it? Okay. So let's keep one. Set target to something low. Pretty career. Nah, I'm pretty happy with my career. I started in Blender. I'm going to get ZBrush and Substance Painter. Is that enough? And if not, what two programs would you recommend to prepare myself for the industry? Prepare yourself. Started in Blender. ZBrush Substance. ZBrush and Substance is a good start. Yeah. And Blender is a good bridge between them to assemble your scenes, so I'd say that's all you need. I believe you can get 6 months free. There's like a deal on ArtStation to get 6 months free of Substance Painter. If you like subscribe to Fab or something, research that so you can get it cheaper. These breakdowns are beautiful. Thank you. Looks kinda cool though. I love that one. You mean the hippie guy? Yeah, I love the concept art. I still remember the guy's name. It's Matt Chapman. I believe it's 2D artist from Australia. And I reached out to them. I was like, may I please make your work into 3D? Pretty please. He was like, yeah, sure, go for it. I was so happy. Because our university made us do like a very official like letter that we had to send to 2D concept artists and like alright. We had to like present ourselves. Very seriously. I probably still have the screenshot somewhere. Good see you, nice, beautiful, look you. Thanks. Is your boyfriend there too? Does it matter? Sorry for the noise, but does it matter? I think it's a bit personal. Okay. That's roughly the shape. We can like mirror it, but it's not gonna do what we want it to do, so I made sure to pull them apart far enough so they aren't welding in weird ways. And now I'm gonna bridge them before I do any operations with ZBrush though. Sorry, ZModeler though. Gonna save. Bridge, 2 holes, arcs. Yeah, that's about right. So we bridge them here, bridge them there. Group by normals. Now I have this clean mesh to work with. And I can turn on symmetry finally. And now I realize it's a bit too thin here. So right now we don't need all of these extra poly loops. So let's get rid of those. It's disturbing, just saying, you're online, so it's a bit strange. Well, again, I apologized and happens. and I have my noise suppression on the maximum, so you should really not be hearing any of my clicking or anything else. So I'm only human after all. Okay, so this shape is pretty... Start creeping with her cook. Yeah, let me cook. This shape is not what I have right now, but that's okay. I'm not gonna model it out exactly as it is. I think I'm just gonna get the right shape, and then I'm gonna convert it to Dynamesh and trim all the angles the way they're supposed to be. That's the plan anyway. I'm gonna turn everything back on. I feel like that would help with the proportions and everything. So yeah, I can see that this part is quite thin. And try and inflate it a little bit. It was her cat. Yes, my human laughing cat. How did you know? No worries, I turned the volume down. Well, we figured it out in the end, didn't we? I know you're streaming real late in my time zone. Okay. Well, my streaming time has been jumping around recently. Because there are some major events happening in my life, which can't disclose yet, but soon. So, yeah. Bear with me. I'll do my best at updating everyone on my Instagram about the schedule, and if you're ever unsure, you can always go to ZBrush Live website, and they have a calendar there, and you can see which streamer is coming up, who's doing what, when, where is self-explanatory. People have spouses and don't live isolated on an island alone. Very strange. Some people live isolated, but yeah, not me. Thank you for support. It's good to see you stream earlier for me. Well, I'm glad, but it might not stay this way. I'm still figuring out the best schedule. What if we got rid of these? Maybe slide them? Love the shapes in the face, even though you're currently focused on the outfit. Thank you, Eric. Sorry, Ellis. Misread that one. Yeah, I did spend quite a bit of time on the face. So, probably will change. We'll see. Okay. Now, do I want to attempt to model out certain parts or not? It's ZBrush, so I don't know why I'm trying to model it by hand, really. Also, the clavicles are kind of making the silhouette of this necklace very wonky. So I don't know if I'll like that. And if we should, like, make the clavicles less obvious. Decisions. Okay. What if we did this? Do you think using spotlights to trace the silhouette is the best method? Trace the silhouette? You mean like edge detect? Doesn't want to work for me today. Weird. Usually does. Please don't crash. Okay. I do use Spotlight a lot though, as my main tool for reference checking. Oh, sure. Okay. Better not focus on the face because I'll get distracted otherwise. Now a way to make it a bit cleaner is to delete everything else, and don't worry, stay with me. We're just gonna extrude it. Hold the group all. Ooh. Is it much cleaner though? I kind of prefer the previous one. Okay. Then we just keep going till we get the shape that we want. Not giving up. As in, turn the transparency a bit down and use the move brush to trace the shapes. You can do that, but bear in mind that there are such things as 2D perspectives that don't work in 3D, so don't rely on that too much. If I could give you one piece of advice, it would be that you need to interpret stuff, like by yourself. Otherwise, you might get weird results. But for general, like, scale of things, yes. Why not? Ashley's in the chat. Hello. The one and only Ashley Adams is in the chat. Welcome. Vampire, yes. Yes, we joked with Ian last stream that it's him. It's actually his portrait. How are you doing? For me, it looks like she doesn't trace it completely. The jaws and the reference is much more prominent, for example. Yeah, well, I left it like that because there's also going to be this chin part. For those who are following the whole Ian is a vampire meme along, I asked him after the stream how the chin plate is sitting on his chin. and he told me it's just pure muscle and you know, like pressure of the chin muscles pushing against the plate. So I thought it would be some kind of vampire magic, but guess I was wrong. I assure you I'm not the one and only. You are actually the only Ashley I know. So for me, you are. Absolute hotness. Well, I was gonna say that the chin piece is a body mod drilled into his face like thermals. Oh my god. Yeah, could be. Okay, like this thing goes out a bit more. Ugh. 2D perspectives can get so tricky. Let's duplicate this one. Just want to... No, inset. Poly group. I'm just trying something. Ugh. Standard. Okay. Not exactly what we want. I'm just trying to get that gemstone casing shape in. I should know what it's called, you know? My sister, my oldest sister, is actually a jewelry designer. So, shame on me. Any jewelry designers out there? Do you know what this part is called? Poly group. Now if I select this one, unmask it, and just scale, we'll get something like this. Looks like Wanda Maximoff in vamp form, Scarlet Witch. Yeah, but a guy. Like a gender swapped Wanda. Yeah, I know what you mean, like the whole costume and the headpiece as well. Must have inspired the 2D artist. Yeah, so see how it like starts to wobble? Don't like that. Oh well. It's a bit too early to be overly critical. Also, my cheeks are really red. Must be really hot in here. Okay, let's quickly model the gem. It needs to be done at some point. What would be the easiest way to get rid of all of this topology? Delete hidden. Mirror involved.
Let it push it down a little bit.
Sorry for that. Okay, that's good enough for now. I think I have a double mesh though. Maybe not. Let's uncrease. Let's see what we got here. It's a really weird looking geometry. Well, let's dynamesh it for now. It's okay, I blush at my own sculpts too, if I'm making a vampire. That must be it, you know? You're right. Are you working on anything right now? Or just watching? Let's crease and see what it looks like with some beveling on. Not too bad. I feel like now would be the time to subdivide it a couple of times and now just sculpt away at it. This thing gets pretty thin the closer it gets to like the back of the neck. And I'm still a bit annoyed. Okay, let's roll back a bit. Still a bit annoyed with the clavicle thing, so let's just smooth it out slightly. I mean, the clothing is tight-fitting, but it's not like, it's not gonna pick up on all of the details from his body, I don't think. And we can always bring it back later if we want. Expression sculpts for work. Ooh, nice. Like blend shapes? Or you're more of like a concept phase? And you're just exploring a character or monster? You like the Anne Rice vampires or the Twilight vampires? Who are Anne Rice vampires? The Vampire Chronicles. I have never seen any of their work. Looks cool. I've seen Twilight movies, but I mean, it's Twilight movies. Fine. I don't think they deserve as much hate as they did get in like mid-2000s when I was growing up. But yeah, nothing to write home about. Vampire movies. I don't know. The one that I do like is What We Do in the Shadows. It's like a comedy about vampires. Directed actually by a New Zealand, I believe, director. Taika Waititi? Appeal targets, saying more is NDA and you'll have to pay the troll toll. Okay, I won't. Don't have the shmoney. But I get the idea. You having fun? Interview with the Vampire with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. Nope, haven't seen it. I haven't seen a lot of movies. I have to confess. I have to come clean. For any, movie enjoyers out there. Would you recommend Interview with a Vampire? Is that a comedy as well? If you don't know what I'm doing, I'm just masking the backside, so and then inverting, so I can only affect the silhouette that is touching the skin of the jacket. What if I push this in? Would it look weird? Hey, you love that concept. Thank you, not mine, but really happy to recreate it in 3D. The concept artist is linked down below. Chick, Queen of the Damned movie with Layla. She looks awesome in it. Okay. Who's that? I'm really clueless about the whole movie thing. Google Acacia played by. Okay. I'll write it down. Let me just like type it in. Okay. Oh, yeah, really cool character. She's a vampire too? I'm not gonna show it on screen because you never know what ZBrush will consider appropriate. Oh, sorry, ZBrush, YouTube. Can you tell that it's early morning for me? Layla, do you use Redshift GPU render? Just curious about your use and thoughts of it. Production, thanks. I've tried Redshift exclusively in ZBrush, and I loved it. And haven't used it in any other software though. So there's not much to say there. The most experience I had with an offline render was V-Ray. A bit of Arnold, then the internal render in Houdini, an old one called Karma, and what else? Yeah. Only played with Redshift inside ZBrush. I don't know, maybe someone in the chat works in Redshift, you never know. But you can ask. Oh my god, I'm in love. Holy, I'm swooning. Layla is gorgeous. She is. Obsessed with her. She looks like she's got a strong character in the movie. Even though I've never seen it. Shame on me. I guess that will be on the to-do list before the next stream. If you wanted to ever like bring the thickness back, you can always turn on backface masking. That can be found in brush auto masking, backface mask. Can't see it. Covered by my face. Yeah, auto masking, backface mask. Okay. Pretty happy what we got there. Let's move on. Obviously, it's not finished, but good start. And we'll have to refine it once we like put him in the pose, maybe? It might twist and turn in unpredicted ways. Once I like rotate the neck. We'll see. It's been a while since I've read them, but if you read the books, Acacia is the main original vampire. Okay. So what are the books called? The same as the movie? Sorry if I'm asking stupid questions. I really don't know my vampire stuff. Now. Man, he's got a lot of details on his jacket. Well, we can start by doing a simple one. Let's just grab extrude profile, grab like a square shape, go to stroke, functions, border, frame mesh, that's gonna frame it from the bottom and the top. That's okay. Weird. Do that. Okay. Let's just do curved tube, or maybe even better, cube strap snap. Is it better? I kind of like this one. This one we can delete. This one we can split. I have to go like that. I got to catch part of your stream. All good. All the best to you. I will be streaming for another like 20 minutes or so. 20-30 minutes. We'll be wrapping up for today as well. Oh, I feel like there are two groups again. Yes, there are. I was correct. Now, maybe let's try deleting some poly loops. Like so. How hard to get down the basics of ZBrush? How hard? It depends on how much time you have in a day to learn it. But I've heard very different reviews from different people. If it was their first software that they learned, they found it pretty easy. If they were coming from another software, they seemed a bit confused with the UI, but then soon got over it. To me, it was never an issue. I just loved how much freedom ZBrush gave me in terms of sculpting. So all of those comments about how alien the ZBrush UI is never really, resonated with me. Yes, it is the way it is. I accept it. I love it. It lets me sculpt cool stuff. Why would I be mad about it, right? So to answer your question, it depends. I picked it up in a matter of a week just to get some basic sculpting done, and then I kept on watching live streams of people that I admired at the time and still do to get all the little tricks. And I sat down with my ZBrush opened, and I would watch their stream and I would repeat after them, and that's how I would learn. Groundbreaking, I know. But I would say, if you feel overwhelmed, and I know my UI isn't what like actual ZBrush looks like, sorry, there's standard ZBrush UI. If you feel overwhelmed by the number of all the menus and all the features and under each menu, understandable, but you will not be using all of them. You know? Trying to come up with a metaphor, but I don't know. It's like riding a bike. To ride a bike successfully from point A to point B, from your home to work or to the park, you do not need to learn all the tricks of how to like flip on the bike and, you know, all of that BMX stuff. And I'm not gonna pretend I know what those tricks are called. You don't need them. It's cool and you'd look awesome on the way to work, but to get you started and actually get to where you need to be, you don't need that. That's why I made my own custom menu, which some people say you shouldn't when you first start out. I say just go with what feels right. I love my custom menu and I get lost without it. I've been relying on it for a while now. By normals, oof, maybe not the best idea. Let's zero mesh it a little bit. Polygroup, polyloop, one group. That's odd, okay. I'll explain what I'm doing in a second. Okay, all of them have different polygroups, that's what we wanted. Now let's say keep groups to the minimum, keep groups on and then set the smooth groups to the minimum. And let's try and zero mesh it. Doing its best. Maybe we could try and just smooth by groups a little bit. Oof, there's definitely something going on here. I see. I see. Auto groups. There must be something fishy going on here too, huh? It's okay. Okay, so it's working now. Weird. Okay. Everything's clean here. Okay, I don't mind it. Okay, sorry. When you enter the grocery store, you don't buy every spice to make your food, just the ones you like and need. There you go, even better analogy. Thank you, Ashley. Right? You shouldn't, like, imagine using every single spice from every single cuisine and you're like soup or curry. That would just be an interesting mix. Why does it sound like some kind of brain rot content on YouTube though? Point is, ZBrush is not as hard as some people make it out to be. I love it with all of my heart. I'd say out of all the software that I use on a day-to-day basis, ZBrush is the most relaxing one of them all. Even with all the crashes. I know what I'm saying. Actually, in my professional setting, it doesn't crash as often. It's just me getting lazy when I stream or do something for myself. And I find myself in some situations. Okay. Crease. Or is it too early? No. Crease, polygroups, resolution, bevel, set something minimal, subdivide it. Now I want to take my snake hook and turn on Echo Curve and do that weird thingy going to the side. Might be a good idea to do it on the lower subdivision level, just so it's easier to get the shape right. I'm using a stylus pen. That I am, or mouse or keyboard, using all of them. Sometimes when I want to like rotate around the model, I'll use a mouse and then this and the keyboard, so I need all three. Hey, what's up guys? Today we're doing a 7,000 spice soup set challenge. I'll be putting everything into the soup and eating it. Thanks for today's sponsor, I won't have to pay for the hospital bill. Yeah, sounds like an actual content to me. ZBrush once crashed for me when I was 3 hours into the project without saving. Biggest crash out I've ever had. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna try and one-up you. It's not nice when it happens. Dynamesh a little bit. And you're like, Layla, you spent the past 20 minutes refining the ZBrush result into polygroups and stuff. Now you're dynameshing? Yes. Sometimes that's how it is. To get that weird organic curve shape. That's what we gotta do. Okay, pretty happy with it. Let's leave it and move on. Maybe we can do some glove sculpting? Maybe? Like just some stylized folds here and there. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna add some support loops. Ooh, that's not gonna work. I guess it doesn't really matter because it's covered by this thing anyway. Add a support loop there. Now let's subdivide. Or even better, we could add some thickness. Is it too early to add thickness though? Maybe not. Let's try it this way. We just need to slightly deflate it, so the opposite of what we were doing with the yellow square. I'm just like, instead of going to the right to inflate it, I go to the left to deflate it. And now when I extrude it, so you see it's like this, but it's extruding outwards, so it works out. Now if we hit apply, we get like 3 subdivision levels, which is neat. Trying to think. Have orb brushes somewhere. I just always forget to add them to my UI. Don't judge me. Okay. Let's add orb cracks. Yeah, that's clean. Document, come on. To the side. And let's see, it goes from out here to down there. Like so. But before we do that, we should probably use that polygroup that we created like an hour ago. Right? You guys seem really quiet. Do you use Cintiq or maybe a canvas tablet with your stylus? Yeah, canvas. Huion canvas. 22-inch one. I find it the perfect size for the ZBrush UI. Some people prefer like 24-inch or even bigger, like 27. Personally, I think it's an overkill, but also maybe if I sculpted with that one, I would get really used to it and I wouldn't want to downsize. So I don't know. I definitely found 16-inch to be too restricting. Like, I wasn't seeing my sculpt properly. Maybe it's good for 2D, but for 3D not so much, because ZBrush does take up quite a lot of space. I'm just vibing. Your stream is so zen. Thank you. To be honest, that's the kind of music I listen to at work as well. Just lo-fi beats from, I don't know, like Legends of Zelda or something like that. So, remember that polygroup? Let's go to the highest subdivision level, go to masking, and now all we need to do is isolate roof. Oh my god. Isolate these two groups and go mask by groups. Now it gets you this result. You invert it by clicking on the canvas and control clicking on the canvas. And now control click on the, wow, my voice is going somewhere. Control click on the mesh and you'll blur your mask slightly. Now control H on your keyboard and you'll hide it. However, it's still there. If I try to like sculpt anywhere, it won't let me. The mask is still there. Let's go to deformation and deflate it a little bit. And you get this really clean, really nice, like seam line. Which is kind of what I want. Oh. We can try and like Control Shift S on your keyboard. When you have a part isolated, will subtract the polygons, kind of like grow or detract from your selection. I don't know how to explain it. Basically, then I either expand the borders of the polygroup or contract. And the reason why I'm doing that, I'll explain. Let's say this much. Now we can go to masking, border. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Now we don't need all of this. All of that. And that's, by the way, how I sculpt all of my clothing on my characters. Because all of your clothing consists out of like patterns, pieces of cloth sewn together. And it's kind of the thing that I see a lot of beginner artists ignore, is like the logic of it all, of sewing. And that's why the clothing on their characters doesn't look as real or as, what's the word I'm looking for? Like believable. So yeah, we can do like a piping effect. I think I'm okay with just one line though, for now. Can add another one later. Hi from Ohio. Hello, the Photoshop guru. Welcome. I started a character artist course and you've been a great inspiration since I've seen your work. Oh, thank you, Alberto. That's really nice. I have a huge imposter syndrome that I only realized I have it recently. So every time somebody says that, I have all of these feelings that are hard to explain. Like, I'm really grateful and at the same time it's like, really? But thank you. Yeah, I've got a 22 HD, and even though it's 1080p, the size is great. I used a 27 Cintiq in the studio years ago, and it felt like the screen space had me casting wizard spells with my whole ass arm. Yes, I feel you. Ashley. I've tried it on one of my coworkers' Cintiqs. I think he got the biggest like the latest model of Cintiq. If they do 32-inch, I think that's the one that he's got. It's just an overkill. I don't get it. 22 is plenty, like... I can't see it. It's this big. I just like put my hands on like the diagonal distance. It's like, it's huge. And everything fits nicely, and I don't know. But yeah, I can feel you with the wizard spell casting. I sometimes listen to solfeggio frequencies while I work. That's very soothing, I bet. All right. I think tablets nowadays have become better since Wacom isn't the only one anymore. True competition, and pretty good one as well. Haven't had any issues with it since I started using it. 32. Oh my god, that's so excessive. I don't even review my work on my Cintiq. I have better call monitors for that, right? Yeah. Again, as I said, overkill. But hey, if you do have one of those giant ones, that's up to you. I just wanna increase all. Make this a polygroup. Increase polygroups again. I just wanted to get rid of the middle one. Oh. I feel like we could insert. Maybe we couldn't. It's okay. Increase polygroups. Resolution 1. Bevel width, something like this. Maybe one support loop here. Here. Oh no, it happened at the back as well. It's okay. We'll quickly get rid of it. Increase polygroups. Bevel width. Insert. Insert. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I have the 24 and 32, mostly on the 32, and it's a bit much sometimes. Whoa. What processor is being used? My processor? I don't know. How do you look it up? Oh no, we've been there before. I've done it, but I don't remember how. So, I remember other pieces of my PC, but not the processor. Well, it's been a long time since I got your live stream, but it seems like you're too late. I'm too late for this one. It is ending, like, now. I just realized I've been streaming for 2 hours and 6 minutes, so we'll be wrapping up soon. I mean, it's morning here, and I need to get some food into my system, because if I don't, I'll get grumpier and grumpier, and you don't want to see me grumpy. ZBrush no longer becomes my best software, my favorite software at that point, you know? Once I get angry and like get a crash on top of that, and it's a recipe for disaster. Let's save. Got a Hue and Canvas Pro from 2020, and I'm surprised how well it works despite the years. There you go. Yeah, same here. Just like nothing I would complain about. Everything works. Nothing is broken yet. File Explorer, right-click the PC properties. File Explorer. Where do I right-click on the File Explorer? Sorry, am I dumb? Like the search thing, right? Okay, one day. I'm asking Google. Right click on my computer. Oh yeah, Intel Core i7. It's a very old one, so I don't know if it says anything. 8700K CPU, blah blah blah, 370 gigahertz. I got it a long time ago. Let's say 2018. Haven't changed it since. Still works. ZBrush still is doing fine. The minute it starts complaining, I will change it. If there's one program I spoil on my computer, it's ZBrush. Games, I mean, I play games, but it's fine. But when something doesn't work in my 3D software, okay, we'll need to add more hair towards the back. It looks a bit bold back there. A nice model, Sculpt as always. Thank you, Gazi. Thanks, Layla. It was very cool to see how you work. Until next time, do свидания. До свидания. Okay, I think I'll be ending the stream here. Again, nice chatting to you all. I think I want to work on this guy off stream a little bit. I'll mostly just be doing stuff like this, like adding tension fold and stuff. Thank you. You know, stuff like that. Obviously not this fast and with references. If you work on clothing, I cannot stress this enough. Go on Pinterest or Google or whatever and find some good references. One trick somebody taught me on stream a few streams ago. If you go into, I don't know, folds. Let's go into images of fluff folds. And you don't want to see AI, because inevitably there will be AI. You can go to tools and from any time you can set to custom range, and you can go from, let's say, like I don't know, basically like 2000 till 2020. Yeah, I want to say like 2021, because in that time frame there wasn't much AI being used, so you'll only see images without AI. It's really cool, and it applies to any search. I had to model some Christmas presents recently. Don't ask. And it's trying to look for reference. Everything's AI. Nothing looks real. Like, everything looks like just AI slop. And yeah, just set the time frame from like year 2000 to 2020, and yeah, it helped. Do you recommend getting a perpetual license of ZBrush? I don't believe you can get a perpetual license anymore. Maxon now does subscription only, as far as I know. Packing some serious muscle, right? Thanks, Layla. Awesome work. Thank you, Ashley. You can also type before 2020 at the end of your search. Really? That's even easier. I didn't know. Is that like a command that Google search engine recognizes? Before 2020. Huh. Cool. Thank you. Good to know. Maybe it was you, Ashley, who suggested that. Anyway, I'll leave this one here. I think I'll play around with him some more today and probably post something on my Instagram. But yeah. Yeah, also -sign AI. Cool. But that will only filter the stuff actually tagged as AI. Yeah, that's the tricky one. Okay. As I said, thank you guys so much for watching and chatting, and sorry for any noise disturbances during the stream. Stuff happens. And go follow the artists, the concept artist, whose link is down below. They're very talented. Thank you for allowing me to use this concept art. And yeah, happy sculpting. Bye bye, Layla. Nice head sculpt, thank you.